this 83 Cuddy. Sometimes the smallest bit of information helps, so I'm doing a video. Start out by taking some pliers and unhooking these fuel lines just on those clamps, release them, pop them off. I break these, turn those loose, break them loose. They come off pretty easy. Then you're gonna get a 13 mil, take the bolt out of there, it just holds the fuel lines up to the tank. Then you're gonna undo the little wire that's, I think, for the fuel gauge. And you're gonna take a 7 mil, undo the little ground. Just take that out. Then you can undo these bolts, which are a 15 mil. And I believe they just thread out of there. Check that in a minute. And then these fuel lines, the whole assembly should come out all as one because we've unhooked it all right there. The tank is empty, the battery's unhooked. Doesn't quite work. Wear your safety glasses because shit is falling in my face. Impact saves the day on that one. I'm just gonna hold it with my knee. That should be good now. Straps just pivot on there, nice and easy. What I got here is a tank out of a four-door Regal, 84 Regal, and they look pretty much identical. I'm about to find out, but this might not be quite as bent up as the Cutlass one, and this spout is about ½ inch longer than the 84 Regal four-door one, but I think a ½ inch I can live with. It was sticking out about here. It'll go in a little bit. If I have to notch that a little bit for the fuel cap, then so be it. But this tank only has 70,000 K on it. This tank's rusted right the fuck out. So obviously the old tank pickup lines, like the tank was rusted, filter was picking up rust. You're not going to probably reuse this sending unit. If you are, you got to take it out, really clean it out, check all the lines, blow them out. If they're all rusted solid, they don't look too bad on the inside. There's a little bit of old fuel in that one. You can't get it to dump out the spout, so you got to pop the sending unit out and then suck it out or dump it out or do whatever you do to get it out of there. So this one's probably going to be a cunt. This edge here you can bang against, which is probably actually better than those ones. Probably what you're supposed to hit is that, because that one just folded over there pretty weak, but I just noticed those ones. Yep. Let's put the safety glasses on the head, eh? Work your way around to a couple of them. There it goes. Watch your ground wire. Like that. So now I've hit on that one, and it's turned. The locking ring has turned to where the openings are on those, and this should lift out. Revealing the sending unit and the little sock. This one looks really good. Some old Varsol fuel in there. You should be doing this in a ventilated shop too. It was just pissing rain. Let this air out here. Give this bad boy an attempt. I just want to see how bad it actually is, and if it's any different than the 4-door one. I highly doubt it. Well, shit. It ain't as bad as I expected. Considering the fuel filter was right full of rusty chunks. Literally identical. Same bends, same length, everything. But I know that one has a lot less kilometers on it, so I'm going to use it. Focus. Yep. Fuel doesn't look too healthy in there, but I mean, the tank is in great shape. Oh, you can try and slosh this thing upside down, or put a towel in there, soak it up, wring it out. I don't know, there's probably a few different ways. I got this little pump. It's just a cheap pump for changing diff oils, or it's just a little suction pump really. And it's treated me pretty good for the $20. It saved a lot of pulling diff covers and shit. So I think when you use it to do fuel, you have to flush it out with, there's a rubber O-ring here. Careful of that, plus all the dirt in there. You don't want to knock that in there. I should have blew that out. But yeah, when you use this for fuel, you gotta pump some oil through it after or something, or the fuel will rot it out. So I'm just gonna put that in there, pump out all that old fuel, put it back together, and see if this 4-door tank will go in the 2-door cuddy. This thing came all coiled up. It's hard to get it down to the lowest part, so tape something heavy on the end and it should sink down to the lowest part of the tank and get most of the fluid out. Old gas. It was lime green, pretty nasty. On a wire, I'm just gonna suck it up like that. Gotta get innovative. So that rubber seal I mentioned to be careful about, I ended up knocking in there. So I had to fish that out. Put a little bit of grease on there, or oil on the rubber O-ring. Clean that up, wire brush it. Get all that rust off of there so it seals good. And put her back in the same way you took it out. The way that the hoses are all gonna go, they go in that groove there, so pretty straightforward. So I'm guessing that the 2-door has a higher bend than the 4-door spout. So I took a board, put it across there, measured. I got about 4 1/4-ish for the 2-door bend. And then when I put it on the 4-door Regal tank and I did it, I ended up getting about 3 1/4. I've already bent it a little bit, but you're gonna have to get yourself a snipe, which is a big piece of exhaust for me. Put it on there. I put it right about where I wanted to bend it, kind of matching the Cutlass one. Braced it, gave her a couple pulls. I'm gonna work that up until it's as close to the height of that one as possible. Make sure when you're putting it in, you pull those wires out before you tuck it back up in there. I'm gonna put some Never Sees on those rusted ass bolts so they're easy to come out next time, if there is a next time. And all right, so looks pretty good. The little bend up did it good. Fuel cap's gonna fit on there nice. No problem. Pretty good. 4-door to 2-door gas tank. At least 84 Regal 4-door fits on the 2-door Cutlass. Pretty damn good. I I can't claim the other ones will, but I imagine they're pretty damn close. All right, blew out the lines, put them back on with the clips. 13 mil, tightened in the little holder. 15 mil, tightened in the straps. They look a little bit looser than on the other tank. I don't know if the other one was just stretched out a little bit bigger, but I mean the tank's in there pretty solid. So do up your little sending unit, probably positive. Do up your little 7 mil ground. Good idea to sand your ground contacts again. Make sure she's all fresh. And your fuel gauge should work. Dumped a little fuel in the car, just got it primed. We've got nice clean fuel coming up now. Load all the lines. Fired up right away. I only had about 8-9 liters of fuel. Gonna get some more fuel here, make sure the fuel gauge works. But hopefully this thing runs better. I can't take it for a drive with this little bit of fuel, but a little bit later